The results of taking care of yourself and giving yourself some spaciousness, connecting with your body, connecting with yourself, connecting with your intuition, and just having a moment to set down your load for a little bit and recharge is the greatest gift that we can give ourselves. Hello and welcome to the Inner Alchemy Show. I'm your host, Ashley Logan, and I am so happy to have you here today. Inner Alchemy is a show for the dreamers, the doers, the high achievers looking for a way to live life on their own terms. I'm your host, Ashley Logan. I am a coach, somatic guide, facilitator, entrepreneur, mother of three, and wear a lot of hats in my life. And today I'm here to talk to you about something so near and dear to my heart, and that is retreat experiences. So let me take it from the top. I first signed up for a retreat when I was, it was 2022. I had 3 little kids at home. I was running a 30-person marketing agency, and I was burnt the fuck out. I was also coming off of a miscarriage. It happened just a couple months prior, and I had had no time, no spaciousness to grieve that experience. When I saw the announcement for the retreat, it was from someone who I've been following her journey for a long time. Her name is Meg Sylvester. She's been on the show. I've talked about this retreat quite a lot. I just said yes. Something inside of me knew, and I pulled the trigger and I showed up in Tulum, and I didn't know what to expect. It changed my life for many, many reasons. One, being in a retreat container, and I'm going to tell you what a container means in a second, gave me the spaciousness to breathe, to reconnect with myself, to reconnect with my body, to learn new things, to have new experiences, and also to process the things that had happened in my life over the course of the last couple months and years. We were still fresh off the pandemic. We still had to test before going. And there was just so much grief that I was carrying in my body that I never had the spaciousness to process because I was always moving from one thing to the next. I was so overscheduled in my life. So I show up. I was puffy as fuck. I could show you pictures of this retreat, and I was just puffy, burnt out. And I learned new things like breathwork, where I was able to connect with my body and my intuition, sound healing, where I was able to learn how to meditate. We did something called gateless writing. I've been a writer my entire life, but had never experienced this type of somatic writing where I tapped into my soul and was able to express myself. We went into a hot tent, a Temazcal with a shaman, and sweat our fucking asses off, and then went and swam naked in the ocean at sunset. It was incredible. So with all of that said, I came back from that experience feeling, one, so recharged, connected to myself. I processed the grief that I had been holding. I felt like I had a clear path forward about what my life was going to look like moving ahead. That spaciousness wouldn't have happened if I hadn't had said yes. For me, retreats are something that I do pretty regularly. I am a fairly courageous person, and I like to step outside of my comfort zone. But until that time, I really hadn't made it a priority in the same way that I do now. Now I go on retreats or weekend workshops pretty regularly because I have a high appetite for learning, growth, and connecting with new people. And one of the best takeaways of going on a retreat or attending a workshop over the course of a couple of days is the people that you connect with, and having a network of people with different backgrounds, different experiences that you can learn from and tap into is such a gift, because we have a tendency to sometimes get pretty insular in our lives and forget that there is so much out there in the world for us to experience, and so many people out there who can add color and vibrance to our lives. Some of the people from the first retreat that I went on, I am still so close with. I talk about them often on the retreat, and they've been guests on my show over the course of time. And we continue to stay in touch, continue to cheer each other on, and continue to learn from each other and grow in our lives. And it's a beautiful thing. And the thing that makes a retreat so special, I think, is the container. So let me tell you what I mean by a retreat container. This can happen in a workshop. This can happen in a retreat. But ultimately, it's people in a shared experience under a shared set of guidelines or values. So oftentimes a skilled facilitator will set expectations. And in all of my retreats or workshops, we set a gateless container, which means we're not here to fix, advise each other. We are here to just reflect the love, light, and beauty and show up authentically within each other. And having those clear expectations around confidentiality and authenticity really mean a lot to people to feel safe to express themselves, safe to let their guard down, and safe to just really have a shared experience as a group. And it's just a really beautiful, wonderful thing. And so when I set down the path of really changing my life, I've since sold my marketing agency and I facilitate workshops and retreats. I set that container, and it's a really, really important part of the whole experience. I am so excited because this year I am hosting not one, but two really unique retreat experiences that are designed to serve the women in my life and the women who I know from all over the country who are looking to just have that moment to connect with themselves. Oftentimes in our lives, we are super scheduled. We are tending to children. And even when we plan a weekend getaway, we're responsible for all of the things from food, transportation, what are we going to do, and making 1,000 decisions in a vacation, which I'm sure that you guys have heard, especially for the mothers out there, that a vacation is just really like parenting in a different place and doesn't offer that rest, restoration, and connection and spaciousness that we need to be fully alive. If we are not taking time to ourselves to learn, grow, grieve, process, then ultimately we're not going to give ourselves a chance to show up at the capacity that we want to in the world. So I have two experiences coming up that I'm so freaking excited about. The first one is happening this September in Potosi, Wisconsin. So for those of you who are in the Midwest or the Chicagoland area, it's only about a 3-hour drive. So really easy to fly in, rent a car, or just drive from here if you're local. And what you can expect from this is really like a girls' weekend. So this is where you will have incredible food prepared for you and not have to make decisions about how you're going to spend your time. It's a combination of both doing some inner work and also free time, exercise, connection to nature, laughter, joy, play, like all of those things in a really beautiful setting. So let me tell you about the setting. The place is gorgeous, phenomenal mansion overlooking the Mississippi River. It's set on 175 acres that includes an old growth forest with like beautiful, incredible hiking trails. And it's a really sacred place. Then there's a little pond where you can go swimming. There's an indoor pool with a jacuzzi. The house is so incredibly luxurious. Then there's also like a second house that has some private rooms and a bunk room. And then there's another private room for anyone or like a private cabin for like maybe small groups. So there's all sorts of accommodations for people at different price points so that it can feel really accessible. And someone asked me like, okay, well, are we like packing like all of this healing, all of this stuff into one weekend? It's like, no. And yes, there will be time for introspection. Yes, there will be time, group activities like breathwork and sound bath, but there also will be play, time for you to go for a hike, time for you to take care of your own needs. And the nice thing is that you get to decide how you spend your time and have some tools to bring back to your daily life while having some space to process all of the things that have happened in your life and just come back a little bit recharged. And the beauty of retreat containers are that each unique person who says yes, who the experience resonates with, brings their own unique alchemy to the experience. And so what that looks like is someone might be going through something that maybe you know nothing about, or maybe you walk that path and then you can support them. Or maybe someone says something that really resonates with you or practices and shares, like all of these things. The people on retreats become such deep friends, and it's just more people who are cheering you on, more people who are rooting for you. And it's just an incredible experience. I can't say enough about it. This is perfect for people who are maybe a little bit more uncomfortable with taking more than a few nights away, but looking for that experience of like sisterhood, connection, introspection, and being held by me in this container, and know that that's a role that I take really, really seriously, and want you to have an experience where you don't have to be thinking about the details, don't have to think about the minutia. You just get to show up, take care of yourself. It's also alcohol free, so you don't have to worry about feeling like shit afterwards. You get to just let your guard down and take care of yourself and really come back feeling recharged. And I think that that is a really important element to note for this, that there's no pressure for you to have that glass of wine. There's no pressure for you to drink when you don't want to drink. And you just get to be your full self and take care of your own needs. And like I said, there's a whole wide variety of accommodations at this one, like incredible rooms with balconies and jacuzzi tubs, and then down to like the bunk rooms. So there's ways to make this work for you financially if that's a consideration, which I know that it is for most of us. The second retreat I'm hosting is in Sayulita, Mexico. And this is one you should think of as like the ultimate girls trip, girls getaway. It is January 28th through February 1st, 4 days, 4 nights. You just fly into Puerto Vallarta, and then from there, you don't have to think about a thing. Airport transportation is included. You'll be brought back to a gorgeous hotel where you will have a private bungalow with a balcony overlooking either the jungle or the ocean. And from there, we will do everything from restorative yoga, breathwork, and fun things like horseback riding and salsa dancing and shopping. So I want to tell you a little bit first about Sayulita, Mexico, and why this place means so much to me and why I decided to have a retreat there. It was this past January 2026. My kids were with their dad for MLK weekend. And so I noticed in myself that I was feeling just a little bit burned out and feeling like I needed some spaciousness. And so I decided to book a solo trip to Mexico. I put out the call to different friends and was like, okay, where should I go? What do you think? And quickly, Sayulita rose to the top of the list, and I'm so glad that I chose it. It's this like quaint little beach town where everyone is friendly. You've got little boys walking around with surfboards in their bare feet, cobblestone streets, beautiful shopping, art galleries, friendly, safe. And I got exactly what I needed out of that trip. I walked the beach every single day. I watched the sunset every day. I did Pilates on a rooftop. I sat on the beach and I read. And I also interacted with people and had this reminder that not only could I trust myself to navigate whatever travel experiences that I wanted to have, but also getting to know people from all over the world. At one point, I was sitting on the beach reading a book, and a few like surfer dudes like plopped their stuff down next to me. And we started talking, and their stories were absolutely incredible, from like being refugees from Damascus to Canada and how they're living their lives and being able to just like understand more broadly, getting out of that insular bubble that we are so accustomed to being in. It was such a special experience. At one point, I decided to book a beach horseback riding trip. And so I got picked up by the people who organize it and brought to a ranch. We went on this like incredible trail ride through the jungle that ended on the beach, and it was sunset, and I got to gallop on a horse in the waves at sunset. And I just remember feeling like just a deep sense of rebalancing, settling my nervous system, recharging my battery. I shopped. This cute little outfit that I'm wearing today is from a market in Sayulita, and I just had an incredible experience. So after leaving there, I knew that I wanted to bring the people back in my life to have a similar experience, and that I could cultivate something really, really special where women could actually get the vacation that they need, not one where they're like parenting in a different place or having to take care of all of the details. Literally, you fly in to Puerto Vallarta, you'd be picked up from the airport, brought back to the hotel, and held the entire time. We have a chef who will be taking care of our meals. We have horseback riding on the beach. We have salsa dancing. And it will be that beautiful mix between introspection, play, free time, and tending to yourself. Everything's included. So all of the meals and activities, shopping, you're on your own, kid. You get to take care of your own needs there. But it will be one of those experiences where I anticipate that people from all over the country will say yes to this. And it's at a slightly higher price point because, again, like luxury accommodations, everything included, but the value of not having to make a decision and being able to return to your life afterwards with tools and, oh my gosh, just feeling recharged is exactly what I'm going for here. So I'm going to share all of the retreat details for you in the show notes so you can check it out and see if it resonates for yourself. And I want to mention this. If the dates don't work out or if this isn't for you, consider doing something for yourself this year. Consider signing up for that class that stretches you. Consider taking that solo trip. Consider signing up for a retreat that resonates with you because those growth opportunities are such a vital part of being alive. We get to create the life that we want. And oftentimes that means stretching ourselves outside of our comfort zone and just saying yes. This has become a practice that I integrate into my life all the time. I'm always out doing wildly courageous things because I'm curious and I want to learn. But I will tell you this, that you can trust yourself. You can trust yourself when you get that feeling of like, yes, I want to do that, and pull the trigger. And know that once you arrive, you will be held in the container, whichever one that you choose. You will meet people who will change your life, who will give you stories, who will rub you the wrong way, who will become your best friends. And all of that is about experiencing all that life has to offer and remembering that we're here to learn from each other. We're here to grow with each other and that life is yours for the taking. So do something that challenges you. Say yes to something that feels inspiring and do the thing that is going to bring you a little bit more color, a little bit more texture to your life, because I'm telling you, you deserve it. The people in your life deserve it. It is just one way to take care of yourself in ways that maybe you haven't in a while. And with all of the hats that we wear, with all of the life that we live in a day, taking a moment or a weekend and doing something for you is so important. And I promise you that the people at home will survive without you. They'll learn and grow from you being gone. I also want to throw out one thing that is really funny. I have had husbands reach out to me after my retreats to thank me for their wives feeling more connected to their body. They're having more sex. Life feels a little bit lighter. One woman came back and thought that her family was complete prior to going and thought that she couldn't get pregnant, came back and got pregnant. I'm not saying that that's going to happen to everyone, but the results of taking care of yourself and giving yourself some spaciousness, connecting with your body, connecting with yourself, connecting with your intuition, and just having a moment to set down your load for a little bit and recharge is the greatest gift that we can give ourselves as women who are trying to show up in the world a little bit differently. So I hope that you say yes. If not to mine, I hope you say yes to something soon because you deserve it. Thank you so much for tuning in to the latest episode of the Inner Alchemy Show. I can't wait to see you back next time.